Good evening, everyone. We would like to start our meeting off. It's 6 o'clock, so we'll go ahead and start. The first item on the agenda is consider approving the minutes from the meeting held on April 24th.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of April 24th.
Second.
Move second. All in favor? Come right in, sir. You're all set. Come right in. How are you tonight?
Good.
The next item on the agenda is...
Can you speak a little louder, because I don't hear too quickly.
Sure I can. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Don't holler, just.
Go ahead, Mike, holler.
The next item on the agenda is consider talking about the installation of the speed bump on Denise Ave. If you'd like to start that off.
Yeah, this is a follow-up of an agenda item that the council spoke to at the last meeting. And following that event, the residents of Denise Avenue put their names on a petition that you have copies of in your packets, indicating that they did not wish to see a speed bump installed out there. So that left you with two petitions, one from those who had requested it, customers of the facility, and the other from the people who are named on the petition. So the council had advised me at the last meeting to ask the police department to install the speed trailer out there, that sign that indicates how fast vehicles are traveling. The council asked me to contact the Maine Department of Transportation for a field study to determine a speed limit for that road. I've done both of those things. The council has also asked for the speed bump to be installed. Upon receipt of the petition, I contacted the chairman, and we agreed that the council hadn't told me when to carry out that instruction. And given this new development of the opposition from the residents, I have not done that until you advise that that is what you want done, but recognizing that if you wish to make a change in your instruction, the cost of the speed bump is about $750, and we didn't want to spend money if the council was inclined to make another decision pending tonight's meeting and the thing that you say and that you hear this evening. Is that adequate, Mr. Chairman?
Nailed it right on the head.
Okay.
So without any further ado, we would ask anybody from Denise Ave or anybody who'd like to speak on that. Can you hear me, Richard?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. No, I want to make sure you can hear, so it is very important. So if you have something to say, you can stand up, tell us who you are, or tell it people.
I'd like to speak. This all started last year when Michelle was putting orange cones in the middle of the road. And we had to go around there when there's traffic coming in. And she was putting that there for the kids. The kids can go out on the road, but not a daycare center. That's our street, you know what I'm saying? They're allowed to go down, but when she's on this end, and they're way down the other end, we watch for them. We had just put 21 kids on that school bus. We first moved to Oakland. On that street, I can name all the kids that were there. Never had a problem till she moved in.
38 years we've been there.
She asked me what my problem was. I said, the orange cones don't belong there. She told me to F myself 4 times, and I just walked off like a gentleman. I didn't believe me. I had all I could do to hold back. And that's where it all started. Now my grandson gets on the bus on a stormy day. I park 2 wheels off the road. She's got ski poles there. When they plowed that road, they went around. And I don't think that's right. Them ski poles don't belong right next to the hot top on Denise Avenue. She don't live on Denise Avenue. That driveway was made by Keith Fitton. They kept driving, finally the grass wore off, and it ended up in the driveway. That's not their main entrance. That's Denise Avenue. All the residents there signed this. She don't like us, we don't like her. Plain and simple. And I don't want them on my property. They go out back by the barn, the potato house, and her and the little kids, a 4-wheel and a husband. I don't want them on my property. How do I stop it?
You'll have to put up some signs, I would believe, but that's not really what we're here for tonight. You want to call the police, okay?
Yep.
And ask them to come up and talk. Sir, could you tell us who you are, please?
Bell. I live at 28 Denise Avenue. I would like to find out the results of that speed trailer that was street for 2 or 3 weeks about the percentages of people speeding or things like that. I know that is available, but we haven't heard that as yet.
Okay. Did you think it helped, Mr. Bell?
I don't think it was necessary.
Okay.
People live on that street. People have grandkids. The street is 600 and something feet long. It's a dead end. I live in the last house. I'm going to be hard pressed to get up to 25 miles an hour before the end of the street. First thing in the morning when the kids are at the bus, who needs anybody speed out there? Coming in, the only time you may speed when you're coming into that street is if you're coming off the middle road and you've got 2 or 3 cars behind you. You take that first turn and you may be going 25, 30 miles an hour, but you immediately slow down once you get out of the traffic. And as Richard said, there are many people, I think we've got 7 out of the 9 houses on that street represented here. And I don't know of any house that hasn't been cussed out for this individual. Reason why, I don't know. But, and that's beside the point. We don't speed on that road. There's a couple of very young kids that have problems on that road. But those are first house or second house? No. It is the first house on the left coming in where there's been a couple of kids that the police department can verify this, that they've had problems. But the rest of us, you know, we're in 60s, 70s. This is our age. We don't speed on that road. And we hope that people coming to visit us, you know, our kids, they don't speed, because in most cases, a lot of these kids grew up on that street. And they know kids are out there. Nobody minds kids playing the street. People mind getting tested, though.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Bell. Mr. Bell had asked a question 1 second. No, Chief, did you get any? Did you get any information off there? Okay. No.
Unfortunately, we did not, and I can explain to you why we didn't. Unfortunately, we have the speed trailer, as you know, we put it up there, so usually that just serves a purpose of showing people how fast they're going, and that keeps it in the back of their mind.
The trailer does not have the capability of recording.
I'm trying to answer that for you.
Excuse me, Chief, I apologize.
No, that's okay. And that's generally what it's for. We did buy a component for that trailer that will collect that data. The number of cars, how fast they're going, the time of day, all that kind of information. Unfortunately, we had that installed at the end of the year last year. We put it away, and this year when we got it out there, there was an electrical problem with that, and that component didn't work. The rest of the speed trailer did, so it showed the actual speed, but it did not record the data. It was fixed yesterday, so we could do it now if we would put it back up there again. We could collect that now.
Thank you.
And I have no problem doing that, but unfortunately, up until yesterday, we did not have that capability.
My question then to you is, Chief, why was it put out there without having that capability?
Well, when we first put it up there, it was the first time we had taken it out this year. That's the first place we took it to. And when we turned it on, it didn't turn on, that component. We left it there because it serves its purpose that it does out on other roads of just reminding people of their speed. That's why we left it there until we could get it repaired.
Were you utilizing that as a deterrent?
Well, it's a deterrent anywhere it goes, generally speaking, yeah. I mean, it serves as a reminder, if nothing else, of how fast people are
The
going.
purpose it was put out there for, though, was to collect information, wasn't it?
So we didn't have that capability.
I understand.
But yes, we were hoping to collect some information for you people to have that available for you.
Actually, Mr. Bell, we had asked them to put it out there as a deterrent.
Yeah.
I had asked that.
Right.
We had all asked that if it'd be put out there, whether it was collecting data or not, right then and there. But it was still somewhat of a reminded people that you must slow down.
But the most important factor of putting that out there
Was to collect the data.
collect data, and we failed to do that.
So, because it was not repaired until yesterday. And if you wish for it to be out there, we'll put it back out there. And I understand that, and I understand exactly what you said. But with that in mind, it was still there to deter the people, to slow people down. What we tried to do is we're here to assist you. We're here to help. And we were hoping that would help and slow people down.
It serves dual purposes, sir, it does. When you're out there and you see how fast it's going, it's a deterrent, it's a reminder, if nothing else. The data compilation would be very nice if it was working. It is now, and that's what we'll do wherever we put it out. We'll be able to collect data all over the town, wherever we get from time, so wherever it happens to be, to serve as a deterrent or as a reminder.
Chief, thank you.
Thanks, sir. Ma'am, stand up, please. No, go ahead, you were first.
Yeah, I just quick. When
Stand
it
up,
was
tell us
put
who you
out,
are, please.
sorry.
Thank
When
you.
it was put out there, I talked to the officers that did it, and they said it was, we're gonna report data.
The officers that did it were
Yeah.
myself
Oh,
and
okay, so it
Sergeant
was you,
Haynes,
okay.
and I did not say it was
Okay.
going to collect data. I said at some point it would.
Oh, okay, but
Yeah. But it wasn't
misunderstanding,
able to.
sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm Kathy, I live at 12 Denise Ave, and I can attest it is my children that are the ones that have the little lead foots, and I've gotten on my children about that because of the daycare and things like that. I can say that I've never been cussed out by Michelle. I will say that. We've had a pretty good relationship, I thought. It is my kids. I don't think a speed bump is necessary, but that's for you guys to decide, and that's just saying that I've tried to control my children, and they're speeding, and they do, and I get on them. But again, I don't think a speed bump is what we need on our street. It's not big enough to get up to the speed. It is coming around that first corner when they're coming off the middle road, not coming from the other end. And personally, it's going to be in front of my house, and I choose not to have a speed bump if we cannot.
Thank you, Kathy. Can you raise your hand?
I hadn't raised my hand, but I will talk.
Oh, please. Sorry.
My name is Betty Chase. I live at 25 Denise Avenue. And I've been cussed out by Michelle many times. Excuse me. And I gotta sit down. I'm
That's fine.
sorry.
Thank you.
The thing is that I have a 3-year-old grandchild. What we do, we don't let him play in the street, and that's where she goes wrong, because she allows her children to ride their little ATVs, all this stuff, down the middle of the road. And you shouldn't do that. You as a daycare person, whatever, you're supposed to teach children, especially your own children, to go to the side of the road. But she doesn't. It's like, it's like she owns the place and that it's hers. Well, it's not. You know, I live there. It's our street. It's precisely right. It's our street. I've lived there 16 years, never had a problem until she moved in. I worked with Mrs. Fenton. She had the driveway mainly so she could get safely onto Middle Road. The post box was set on Denise Road for the mailman, not because anything else, not because it was safer for the occupant of that road. It was for the safety of the postman. And that's where he stops. It says on there, 104 Middle Road, not Denise Avenue.
Thank you, Betty. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. I live on 13 Denise Avenue. My wife had a daycare for 8 years. We never had a problem with speeding or anything. And I've been there since 1975, like Richard.
Just like us, yep.
Damn same time.
No, I was here before you.
2 weeks before us.
Thank you, sir.
I'd like to say one more thing, Mike, because I got notes here. I used to go up to the corner with my grandson. I don't want the harassment no more. But a lot of times, I know she's paranoid. She jumps in front of a vehicle, coming this way or that way. She tells them to slow down. I said, they weren't going fast. I was there. They stopped to get the kids out, then they go. And she gets right in front of them. I said, you're going to do that to the wrong person. But she has done it, and I seen her to do it to his company, to my sister-in-law. So we all got the message. They know enough now.
Okay.
That's the bottom line.
Thank you, Richard. Ma'am,
Basically confirming everything is we have been
can
harassing.
we hear
Oh,
who
I'm
you are?
sorry, Anna Bouchard, 24 Denise Avenue.
Thank you, Anna.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We have been harassed since she's moved in. She does go in our back lawn, she goes down the middle of the road, she climbs no trespassing signs. And my kids do play with respect to the traffic. If they're riding their bikes or walking, we're on the side of the road, and I've had no problems. I've been there since '87, over 25 years also. So and my grandson is 9 years old. He's forever safely in the road also. So there are people there, there are young kids there, and the ones that live on Denise Avenue with young kids have absolutely no problems with speed. So I'd once again recommend that you leave the speed bumps to the people that live on Denise Avenue. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Young lady, you'd raise your hand before.
My name's Jennifer Brown. I live on Oak Street in Oakland. I have 2 children that go to Michelle's daycare, 4 and 5. I have personally seen people speeding, peeling out, and in my opinion, a speed bump, if that keeps one person from hitting one of my children,
They don't belong in the
that's worth
road.
it.
She has a
Easy, easy, ma'am, easy. Let her speak,
Quiet,
please.
quiet.
Thank you.
I've been
Let her
there
speak,
when
please. Thank you. Sorry again.
when they ride up and down the road and they are on the side and they know to move over when there's a car. But people do come in off the road extremely fast and they peel out extremely fast. When my 5-year-old is waiting for the bus, if she gets hit, if a speed bump can keep that from happening, then I think that's worth it. That's my child's life that's being taken.
Thank you. Ma'am.
Hi, my name is Danielle Booten. My children attend Michelle's daycare. First thing, I don't think personally attacking Michelle over this issue is going to help in any way. But on this issue, I have seen people speed. It is more because a majority of Michelle's property does abut Denise Ave. Yes, her address is 104 Middle Road, but a majority of the property does abut Denise Ave. I have walked with Michelle down the street. I'm not saying that everyone has sped, or is speeding, but I have witnessed people speed through there. She is right at the corner, and I do understand the middle road is a very heavy traffic area, and people speed through there. And for people to pull on and off of Denise Ave or off Denise Ave, I could understand why people speed up. But there is a daycare there. There are a lot of young children. I mean, my children are 5 and 3. And if my children got hit by someone, that would devastate me, Michelle, and everyone on that street. Placing a speed bump, I'm not sure where the placement was intended, but I think a speed bump could save, like she said, if it saves one person's life, I think that's worth it.
Thank you. Ma'am.
I'm Polly Bell. I live at 28 Denise. I'm at the end of the road. I stop at least in front of not Michelle's house, the second. When I see the bus there, I stop. I just come to a complete stop. I let all the kids get on the bus, and then I go to work. I've done that forever. I'm saying when you're going 45 miles an hour on the middle road, and you've got somebody on your bumper and you're going to turn, I'm scared to death. I peeled in there one time. Michelle was in the road walking with the kids. She yelled at me. I said, I'm sorry, but I didn't want to get rear-ended. You know, it's a dangerous corner to come off Middle Road and get into Denise. But the minute you get there, you slow down. And Michelle has a beautiful, beautiful yard for those kids. If they want to go walking, put them in a van and take them downtown to the park. Not on the road. We have no sidewalk. The town wants to put a sidewalk, kids can ride all they want. Walk all they want. We don't have a sidewalk. We have a 2-lane highway. Or street, rather. Sorry. And no, at least when I get to my house, I might be doing 25. But that's the speed limit. I go 10 miles, 15 miles, 17 miles when I hit the daycare. Just did it automatically out of respect. I love little kids. I'd hate to see any of them get hurt. But they'd have to go through that fencing of hers. She's got a beautiful fenced-in yard with all the toys there for those children. She has everything to work with. Why would you take them out on the road if it's a hazard? I wouldn't. That's my comment.
Thank you, Pauline.
You're welcome.
Michelle?
Alright, I just wanna stand up for myself. I haven't had a problem with anybody on this street. Yeah, we've had some choice words, like Richard and I, we've had some choice words.
I
It
didn't say
happens.
no, I never called your name. Remember?
Yeah.
Richard,
Alright.
let her speak, please, thank you.
Um,
She was very polite and let you
I
speak.
haven't talked, I don't even know half these people's names. I've only gone door to door a couple times with like missing cat posters when our cats went missing, and I've got reamed out for that reason there. I have gone in front of moving cars when people are coming, like she said, when her son and friends, when they were speeding, absolutely. I did once pull this one out of the road from one of his friends that came around the corner. And that's how this all started, was then. The bus driver saw that at the time. The kids, I don't let them play in the street. I just want them to ride their bikes up and down the street safely. And even today, her husband actually witnessed speeding car coming up the road, slammed on their brakes as soon as they saw us at the fence when I was talking to the parent. I just want them to slow down. Speed bump might not be necessary. I just am asking, slow down. Use caution. Watch for the kids. I didn't think that was too much to ask for. And when it comes to like Richard brought up, going across the backfield, that's never been a problem. I won't do it again. Sorry, I didn't realize walking through the trail was bad. I won't do it. That's fine. All you get to do is ask. You don't need to get the police involved.
Thank you. Let's be respectful and polite.
All right. I haven't had a problem with anybody on the street other than when Richard and I have had our few choice words. And
Okay. Thank you. Ma'am?
I have moved in with Julius Depot and I've lived there 2 years and I haven't seen one person speed on that road. I go walking a lot.
Thank you.
My name is Bruce Marshall. I lived there on Denise Avenue for 34 years. She came to my house and she started crying, Michelle did. And I told her, as past reference, I said, go to the police station, find out who it is, take the officer, go to their house, and then explain to them to start slowing down. This wouldn't all be here today. I know they're busy. They are, especially this guy, 24/7. But there is an issue on that street. I saw it. I'm there, my door is open, and when you go over the speed limit on that predicament that he had out there, the lights were all flashing, 45 miles an hour.
Have you seen them flashing?
Yeah, I did. No, to be honest. Wow. But what I'm saying is, she came to my house and I says, to eliminate a lot of this issue, if we would have had an officer over there to gone to that house and did that right then and then, and if that person keeps persisting, then we would have, you would have did something about it. We wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for that. And another thing on L Street, we should have a dead end sign, because some people go almost right on the other side of that. Okay. And I had children too at times, and I seen people that did speed on that street. There's not the ones that there the day that I saw that, but I'm sitting out front, and there are a couple. And it needs to stop. All you need is to kill one or wounded one. Those kids can go over that fence, and she can keep an eye on them. Kids are kids, and we don't need that. I wouldn't want to have a speed bump. I think it's ridiculous, kind of in a way. I mean, if you go like 8 or 9 times out of that street, your ball joint's going to go out. Yep. They took them off from the credit unions because people were complaining about it. They turned around and got sued, so they took them out. But she has signs there, and I noticed a big difference. Okay? It's to protect her and to protect others. Us. We could go out there, we don't know. We could have had a stranger come down the end of that street. That's my thing about it.
Thank you, Bruce.
Which we did get the message. That's the bottom line. Everybody got the message.
Yep.
Does anybody want to add anything, or I can probably close this out if we'd like. Dawn, go for it.
I wasn't here for the first discussion, so I'm a little bit out of touch with some of the original issues. But I think throughout town we have a lot of daycares. we have areas that may be even worse than this. You're talking about a short street that kids play on, and you'd like to be able to let kids do some things, bike riding and things like that. But there are a lot of daycare areas in town that I think we probably need to better educate everybody. You know, I think the point is well made that Alpine Street, even though I don't know if there's a daycare on Alpine Street, but that's got to be one of the worst streets in town because it's a shortcut. People coming from the lakes to KMD, they'll use that road. So maybe what we need to do as a council is to take on some of the thoughts that you folks have had. How can we educate the general populace, the schools, the driver ed programs, that, you know, when you have daycare programs around, we do need to be more cautious that whether we can get an article in the paper, just getting people to slow down. Because it's not just on Denise Avenue for 1 or 2 cars. You know, it's an issue of people just not thinking about what they're doing. So, you know, I think we can perhaps be progressive and proactive and maybe make this something that's positive, even though it's created a little bit of a tension here tonight and probably in the last week. So I'm glad you folks have been here, and I'm glad you all brought it to our attention from all your perspectives, because that's what we need.
I think maybe that we could take and it's a good lesson learned by us and a good lesson learned by all, in reference to everyone here had an interesting thing, and even Michelle said that maybe a speed bump is not necessary. Maybe the town of Oakland can save $750. Maybe we could post a sign at the end of the road and say children playing, you know?
Did it.
So, and there you go.
Last year didn't do any good, so I put up 2 signs myself.
Yep. So, but even in reference to what Dawn said, maybe other daycares around the area. I don't think, I think it's in everyone's mind right now that that you don't want a speed bump. And again, Michelle, using your verbiage, you said that possibly a speed bump is not necessary right now. That if it's everyone's mind that we'd like to slow down, then we'd like to slow down. So at this time, I'd like to make a motion that we do not set a speed bump on Denise Ave. And because, but I would ask so with this motion, and it can be public if you wish, that you please, you know, a little bit of respect goes a long ways. We all have our own opinions of everything. And she, in her opinion, says she believes everyone's speeding, and in your opinion, you're not speeding. And that's fine. I know what you're saying. I mean, I've been talked to before. I was driving into the maintenance garage the other day and heading down the hill, and a guy said, well, why don't you go a little fast? Wow, I was going 15 miles an hour. But he thought I was coming in there fast. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, and that's fine. So, but I just think that we can all learn a lesson. We all have to live here. Because you might not like each other, and you're not going to like everybody all the time, or just some of the people some of the time. I think we all can say, you know what, we have to accept it. We're here in the same neighborhood. And ultimately, if someone needs some help, then we ought to step up to the plate and help them. Maybe by slowing down, maybe by not jumping in the roadway. You know, and maybe not moving the ski poles next to the sign, or telling the kids, you know, okay, look, at such and such time between 7:30 and 8 o'clock, everyone's going to work, so we're not going out in the road and ride the bikes. But we can ride between 8 and 2, and whatever, that's going to be up to you. So again, my suggestion this time, or my recommendation this time, we do not put a speed bump up on Denise Ave.
I'd second that.
Move second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
I would also wonder, how do people out there feel about putting that trailer back there for a few days and getting some information from it? Now that Mike says the recorder is working now.
Mr. Bell.
That may not be, excuse me, that may not be necessary. As Michelle said, at the entrance now of Denise Avenue, on both sides of the road, there are signs out there. Very bright signs that say, hey, we got kids out there. Don't speed. Now, if those don't get your attention, that trailer won't get your attention. But she put those signs up on both sides, and I don't know what you can do better than what she's just done.
Right. I think the trailer will definitely get your attention more than the sign. When you see that light flashing on that trailer, you notice that a lot quicker than you do a sign. I've seen it when I was around town last summer in various places, and
but that's
the first thing you do when you see that trailer is look at your speedometer.